It's on.
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the U21 Papa John's Pizza Under 21 Provincial Curling Junior Championships. I'm Kevin Kyle, and I'm with Jeff Stewart, and we'll be covering today's match between Team Johnston and Team Marin from the Team Marines from the host club TSA. Jeff Stewart, Jeff, you have a team in this event this weekend. Thanks for joining us in the booth. What do you expect to see in this match here today?
Well, thanks, Kevin. Certainly nice to have a little break here this afternoon after a busy weekend and prepare and a couple of games played. We do have the afternoon off. We're not out of it the event yet, but we've had a rough start, shall we speak. These are good teams and taught us a couple lessons so far. I think we're going to see lots of rocks with these guys. They like to put them in the rings and set up some good stuff.
Okay. Team Marin, lead Dylan McDonald, second Adam Tracy, third Josh Vaughn, and skip Liam Marin. Team Johnston, unfortunately, their skip is sick and is unable to compete in this match. So they'll have Sam Goodine at lead. Sullivan Goodine will be throwing second, and Anson Breen is going to take over the skip duties in the house. And the team's out of the Woodstock Curling Club.
This is certainly a change for them this afternoon. Unexpected, I'm sure. Wasn't in their plan to go with three this afternoon, but when you have a man that's not faring very well, you make the best of it. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of plays out here. They're playing a pretty experienced team with the Marine folks, who I think are in their last year of eligibility. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, 3 out of 4. Dylan McDonald is the only player that will be eligible to be back in the junior ranks next season. Yeah, so curling is a 4-person game for sure, and so certainly right out of the gate, this Johnston team is going to find themselves in for a challenge. So Marin won the hammer with the closest draw to the button in practice. So it looks like the Johnston team's got the center guard up. So they're going to get into it early here, Jeff?
Yeah, a little bit. He's sort of optional play here to go to the corner. He's want to play to the open side, try to keep things simple. But if it comes up for a corner guard, which it did, then he'll maybe take advantage of that after a bit. These guys, like to take advantage of those opportunities as soon as they can. And with the hammer, though, it kind of gives them a good starting place and a good comfort position for the first end. We'll see how it goes. I think I've been seeing it this weekend, a number of sort of 3 and 4 enders sometimes in the first end, and one team will get a jump if the other team's not ready to go. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Johnston team asking for as I come around here.
What do you think of the ice this weekend, Kevin? It seemed to be curling quite a bit, but a few straight spots here and there.
Yeah, on those outside with the up weight, it will run straight, but there's really good curl in between the 4-foot lines. Good opportunity to bury rocks and make plays on rocks in the house. So it makes for a great game. Yeah, compliments to the ice making team here at TSA for giving these kids some great conditions to play under. So Adam Tracy being asked to clean out the front of the house. He doubles off the Johnston rocks.
He sure can fire them hard once in a while. I've seen him throw a lot of heaters down there, 5 or 6 second peels kind of thing down the middle. So he likes to pick it up and drive it down there.
Yeah, great weapon at second stone. Have that second stone that can clean things up. So Sullivan Goodine being asked by Anson Green to come around the guard.
And this one looks like it's starting to curl a little bit early.
It looks like he's all over that red rock.
So that's put it on the on the rings there. I think he'll ignore that yellow rock now and go to the other corner. Try to set up a possible 3-ender here, maybe.
Yeah, and that's the indication from the skip, Liam Marin. So after Adam Tracy just made that cleanup shot, he's going to be asked to play the draw around the corner. Yeah, and we see, certainly there was lots of ice taken there for a good 4.5 foot draw.
So you've been involved with these juniors for a number of years, have you, Kev?
Yes, coached for many years and served as the junior coordinator and also coordinator for the Canada Games Development Program.
Quite a few games spent behind the glass.
Yeah, so really impressed with the level of curling that we're seeing out of our junior ranks.
So I didn't want to date you too much, but you do go back a few years. Would you say that the competitive level across the board has improved? We only see 5 boys teams this weekend and 6 ladies, so numbers seem down a bit. But what would you say from the quality of play versus maybe what you were contending with a few years ago?
Yeah, I think there's more quality here. There's more depth in the field in terms of competitiveness.
From my perspective as a current coach, I think that probably comes from the opportunities of play. We get quite a busy schedule available to us during the season here in New Brunswick. Opportunities to play in PEI or Nova Scotia. Basically every weekend if you wanted to go, I think. And some teams take advantage of that, I think, and maybe get out on the ice a lot and really increase their game. I think they play in the adult leagues a lot as well, and it seems to me that that's improved the overall level of play for a lot of teams. Yeah,
and certainly there's been more resources available in terms of what teams should be doing, and for all intents and purposes, in the men's and ladies rank, they're professional curlers, and we have the experience to draw on from things that they've learned.
So we're kind of looking like, as we've been talking here, the yellow team has kind of turned this end around a little bit and turning on a little bit more aggressive play. Drawing for the second one here, is that right?
Yeah, so opportunity here for Sullivan Goodine to come around the center guard. It looks like I got a good one there. Just didn't quite finish.
Perhaps a double set up there now, I think. Oh, and this looks like he may just play the hit and roll underneath. It's hard to tell. I can't see an overhead view here to see if that yellow is actually biting on the rings and out counting the back red.
Yeah, from my vantage point, it looks like it's on. I'd expect the Marine team to be aggressive.
They've been playing well so far this weekend.
Yeah, they look very sharp. They won the A section this morning, so that guarantees that they will be playing on Monday morning. All these games on this draw are semifinals in the B qualifier section.
Okay, so we'll have the B qualifier in the next game tomorrow morning, I guess.
That's correct. So we have, so on this draw, Como came through on the girls' side in the A qualifier, and Marin on the boys' side. So both those teams have no losses, and the remaining teams would be at 1 loss. This is a triple knockout format, so you're alive until you have 3 losses. So Anson Green getting ready to deliver his first rock. So without hammer, just going to make a play on that Marine stone. See, he's not taking a whole lot of ice here. Nice quiet wait here from Anson. So Anson Breen makes a hit, a short roll.
It's always nice to start with a good one on your first rock, especially where he hasn't been skipping and thrown into this situation this afternoon. Makes the first one, and always gives you lots of confidence for your next couple.
Yeah, certainly a different role to ask a player to take on. So Liam Marin with his first stone here in the first end. These games are 10 ends.
I'd say he probably wants to roll in this situation, probably behind that red guard.
Yeah, a chance to put some pressure on this Johnston team early. So he might have got that one started a little bit. So Anson Breen's looking at playing to come around.
Yeah, if he can put one around the guard and top of the 4 foot here, he's really going to put some pressure on his Marine team right away.
Yeah, certainly things have really turned around here.
That's right. This will be the first one you're timing, so just you were timing the red.
So Anson Breen with the delivery. Looks like it's going to get a wick off the red.
I'm not sure if that one picked a little piece of dirt or not. It seemed to have lots of weight, and they were leaving it alone all the way, but let it come over and hit that guard. Now suddenly there's a kind of a bonus opportunity here that Liam wouldn't have been expecting, I think. If he hits a little bit on the inside of that, he could potentially score 2 red. And
yeah,
depending on how the red's hanging on the back of the rings there, this actually could be a shot for 3.
They threw the wrong color.
Yeah, so certainly the indication is this is a shot they're going to play.
It doesn't matter who's up here. You and me.
So Liam's decided to play it a little more conservative first end, so he's just going to draw the 8 foot.
I think that's experience talking there, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah, I think he might have looked behind the glass and saw his father, the coach,
Waving him off.
with a stressed look on his face, and decided to
A lot of young
Change
players
it up.
or more inexperienced players might go for that shot, which is not easy to try to make that kind of a split raised double thing. Instead, he's elected to take a safer shot, play down the middle and get 1, and take immediate early control of this game. If
Yep.
he'd gone the other way, potentially would have made a mistake and down on the scoreboard. So that's experience, I think, is really showing through there.
Yes, and you'd expect your skip to be able to have that confidence to at least draw the 4 foot. So you only needed 8 foot. They'd had a 10-minute practice before the game, so they know the ice and the speed. So good draw there from the skipper, Liam Marin, to take a 1-0 lead. And so certainly I think Team Johnston is okay with that result. Coming out here in the first end without their skipper, and everyone being asked to step up and fill the void. So Liam Marin's asking Dylan McDonald to just bring it into the house.
I think they generally like to play a fairly simple game, Kevin, to keep the rocks and rings open with the front end that can hit like they can and wait for the other team to make a mistake a bit. This one comes up a bit short, and suddenly we're going to have some more rocks in play. Don't think that was his strategy to put a long guard out there.
So Ransom Breen is going to ask for a come around here. They did talk about the corner guard.
It's funny, the game has changed so much. Back when I was playing, Kevin, I think anything that got near the center line as a guard, we were all nervous about it and always going open side. We didn't want to get around. Now, just about every team you see playing the game is immediately ducking around a guard as soon as they see one up there. So it's fantastic the way the rules have changed over the years here and put rocks in play and keep it interesting for us folks. I mean, as a player and a person who likes to watch the game, it's so much more exciting now, I think.
Yeah, it certainly has evolved.
And it's funny though, as a player, I used to be a little bit nervous about that kind of stuff, and now it's just sort of relaxed. It's part of the game. Throw it in there, easy peasy.
So Sam Goodine slipped behind the tee line. So Team Marin without hammer can try and come around that guard, get one in better.
Another rock came up a little bit short, Kevin.
Yeah, it's one of those things you consider a good miss if you're Team Marin. It's certainly a lot better guard. So, Anson asking Sam to try and get this one around. So the team's playing a race to the middle.
That one didn't quite curl enough. It's going to be hung out in the open. I think that's going to be a nice looking double here, possibly. But probably more importantly is to make it hit that and roll inside. Right in behind those reds and right in the center line would be a better spot than making the double, in my opinion. These days, you get that rock in that position, it usually scores.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, this Marin team's a good hitting team.
For sure. And that's often what happens when those doubles are attempted.
So Anson indicating hit and roll. Try to hit and roll buried. Sam Goodine with the delivery. It looks like they might return the favor. Just avoided the jam. When you throw that weight on that outside, there's not going to see much movement. So Liam's asking Adam Tracy to come around here.
It's a perfect setup for Liam right now, actually, with the two guards out front and the yellow behind the tee line.
That's a nice catcher.
Those rocks back there become your friends. It looks like a little light, though.
Yeah, first two ends, Adam has to throw that up weight shot and then come back with a draw. Chokes off that side, Jeff.
Definitely.
So Anson's going to ask Sullivan to bring this one in around.
The important part of this shot is staying above the 8 foot, I think, and partially covered if possible. Slipping behind the tee line is a no-no for sure.
Yeah, and you really want to be aware of that error tolerance.
Looks like it has a little bit strong weight.
He gets right to the pin. So still an opportunity. Sweeper had to watch that one right to the button.
Again, a little bit deep, I think, but again, this is a tricky shot too, because you need to be just to the front of this and not too heavy, because if you bounce off, you'll give the advantage back to the yellow team.
Third stone, Josh Vaughn for Team Marin.
Looking good, Kevin, here. It's going to get by that guard.
Yeah, great brushing here. Great brushing.
Oh, they're end to end.
Just missed it.
Raise the guard.
Team Marin does. They do have a 5-man team, and Matt McGee is in as lead for this game. Not Dylan McDonald. So great sweep there from Matt McGee and Adam Tracy. They did everything they could to get that by. So an opportunity here for Anson Green to get one in here a little better.
Yeah, if this is a little lighter and in the 8 foot, he can really set himself up for a nice end here.
And
He's,
the pro side miss would be a short for a guard.
yep.
So we might see a cleanup shot coming from the third stone, Josh Vaughn. Looking at a run back on that corner.
Seems to be the best one to drive the red in on top of one of those yellows. And still, because he has no hammer, will protect himself, right? If you had the hammer, I think he'd be clearing the middle probably to get to the 4 foot area. But he's still trying to get rid of a yellow and set himself up for a steal possibly. This is over curling. No, well swept.
It's close. Good shot there from Josh Vaughn.
Just a nice
Great
amount of
brush.
weight there for that shot, eh, Kevin? Just
Yeah, not overthrown. We've seen that throughout our coverage this weekend. The teams really have a good grasp of what weight to throw, not overthrowing. So it looks like they're going to try and come through the port.
And I think if he gets through, he'll make contact on the red, and he won't be staying on the nose. He will definitely roll to the what would be our left here. Not sure if he can stay. He may rattle around those yellows. Oh, very good shot.
Yeah, great looking shot. Great line call from Anson there. He was had the brusher on that right from the get-go.
So the Marine team will have a challenge here trying to get one into the 4 foot. Now, all those 3 yellows are behind the tee line, which will help them out. There's a very small hole to try to make it through there on a draw weight shot. Could be an interesting development here, depending on what happens on this shot. a wick on the guard might be 4 for yellow pretty soon. Or if he makes it through the hole, set himself up for a nice steal. It's be close.
Yeah, he's not. Those 3 rocks are behind the tee line, so it's still an opportunity for Team Marin. So Liam Marin with his first stone here in the second end without hammer. Looking to come through that port. So Liam likes it.
Oh, just slightly. What fortune.
Oh.
Fortune there it was.
And comes to be shot stone. Wow. Good plan B call there from the house.
It's Adam Tracy. It's in the rings there this evening.
Yes, Adam Tracy's in the rings.
Timeout.
So timeout on sheet 5 by
So what are the options here, Kevin? I mean,
by Team Johnston.
You're a coach. What would you go tell those folks right now? Put you on the spot.
Yeah, he's got 2 shots.
It'd be nice to score this end. Be the first thing you want to attempt. So what's the best way to score?
Yeah.
You need to clear the front.
I think the front, that yellow stone. If you drive that yellow stone onto that close guard, that would open up both sides.
I agree with that.
You would have an in-turn and an out-turn option on your last one.
Very good call. I think I like that as well. Take that and clear that, and as you said, open up both sides. They can't guard both, so potentially red will throw another one in on top, but at least you'll have access to the tee line, and you get the yellow backer there. Potentially may even give up 1 here, and that would be a success. If you try to come through that hole, you're just going to clutter it up, right? I like your call for sure.
Yeah, that port would be a really tight call. From our angle, we don't know how much can't see how much of that is exposed.
I guess the other potential here with the yellow driving it back towards that guard, potentially it curls up a little bit too much and comes by that and hits the shot rock on the 4-foot. That's the second possible bonus there. So
yeah, so lots of good things could happen. So,
and that's what they seem to be lining up.
and they're looking to see if they can run that yellow right to the shot stone.
That's a good plan B with the second plan. Plan A with a second plan B being rattle the guards off.
Yeah, that high guard's not hurting them at all. And the red rock that's over is a corner. Shouldn't come into play. So first time out there called by Team Johnston by the substitute skip, Anson Marin. So each team gets 2 timeouts.
I'm kind of a new coach at this, Kevin. I find those 1-minute timeouts are just so brief. You've got a lot of things to try to say and too many options to discuss.
Yeah, and you want to keep it simple. Not there's one shot that the player needs to make, and you want to just focus on that. Just focus on the task at hand, and wait till the 5th end break to talk about all the other things. Okay, so they stuffed that a bit. Didn't really change things too much there.
No, got a little unfortunate actually. To be able to drive that in there and still stay on the nose. So again, maybe sort of 2 shots in mind, or maybe just unfortunate luck to have that sit right on the nose at the end.
Yeah, the pro side miss would have been on the wide side and get a piece of that other guard.
kind of looks like they're going to guard the yellow run back again. Seems to be the best choice for the red team right now. They're in pretty good position after that last wick and roll to the forefoot.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna bring this in. They're gonna protect it by bringing another one in. A little bounce would be okay.
Yeah, not too many good options there, Kevin. I think angling the other red doesn't really...
Dangerous playing that.
It is a dangerous play to raise another color into the rock pocket and possibly give up 2. So.
Yeah. If there's any possibility to hit it badly and jam it and give up 2, then giving up 1 here is not the end of the day. Marin with a 1-0 lead, 10 end game. Be down 2-0 after 2 ends. I think Team Johnston be okay with that.
Looks like they've kind of looking for the back 8 kind of tap weight maybe to try to get a piece of that shot rock and push it through that hole.
Yeah, that looks like the call.
Tricky shot. I think that's almost fully buried behind that. But on this ice, it curls a good amount, and with just the right weight, we've seen shots like that all weekend, actually.
So Anson Breen just got to squeeze. Just got to squeeze by those guards.
Ooh, dangerous. But,
He got away with it. Only gave up 1.
Yep.
So steal a 1 for Team Marin. Take a 2-0 lead after 2 ends. So far, great job by Team Johnston. Playing a man short. And when that man's your skip, kind of makes the challenge even that much more difficult.
Well, suddenly, the other 2 guys are throwing 3 rocks, and the sweeper might be sweeping all by himself, and everybody's doing different things than they usually do. So, a quick adjustment is necessary. They do have a great sweeper on their team. I can attest to that. Sam played with our team last year when we won the Kenny Coates Spiel here in St. John, and he was a great player, great addition to the team for that event. Did a lot of great sweeping.
Yeah, great thing about this sport, you can be competing against a player one day, and next day's on your team, next weekend. A lot of great camaraderie amongst the players. And Jeff, I'd like to congratulate you on on winning the men's junior coach of the year, as voted on by your peers. That's a great achievement.
Well, thank you, Kevin. They kind of caught me a little bit by surprise there. I mean, we haven't had a very successful event here this far, but I give a lot of credit to the players on the team. Our guys are just really dedicated to trying to get better and play better, and I'm working with them now for 3 or 4 years, and they do keep getting better every season. And it's interesting. I feel like a 5th player most of the time. I'm trying to figure out what my role is, what to say, what to do. During a game, you only have the 2 timeouts, or maybe 2 from the other team as well, and usually those times are good times for your team when you've got the other team on the hook. But anyway, you don't have extra time to talk to them, and but during the event, you got to get ready for it and all the practice that leads up to it and such. So it was nice to be recognized from the guys that see the work that we've been putting into our team and how these guys are coming along. we are a little younger than these fellas, and this Marine team is, I guess we call aging out, but they're the most senior of the group here, and ours are probably the youngest. So we expect to be playing in this event for the next couple of years and maybe contending for that championship as well. As you know, I think you coached a number of teams. It takes a lot of work to take a team from a starting point to maybe a championship final, and it's quite satisfying, I'm sure, along the way, and challenging as well.
Yes, certainly is, and it's a family thing too. So when you're involved, when you're coaching your kids, it's that much more rewarding. So Matt McGee, lead for Team Marine, brought 2 into the house. So Marine with the 2-0 lead just wants to keep things open. Let his hitters just clean things up.
Yes, he certainly prefers to play in the rings most of the time anyway, but now with a 2-0 lead, bringing the play to the rings is exactly where he wants to be. So Yellow's got to do some things here to shake things up and get confidence in their own skills and ability that's there, and put a couple of points on the board. Again, still only 10 ends in these things, and lots more play to come. So hitting the panic button is not advisable right now either, right? So
No. So
play steady and get the next end, or just get through this end and calm down and settle in for the next one.
So Adam Tracy being asked to remove that Yellowstone. Seemed we got that one started a little bit. End up with the jam. So good setup here again for Team Johnston.
Well, they did what we always tell them, which is keep your rocks in front of their rocks, and maybe you'll get a mistake, and that's what happened in that case. So now they have an opportunity to get another rock behind a guard, and I see this one is taking off towards that guard. This thistle ice is certainly curling in spots, and when you maybe get a little bit started, it certainly takes off on you, and this one is a little bit light as well. So they run quite differently when you do that, and no fear of curling here at Thistle.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know that part of the game, Kevin, about making the ice and what makes it curl and such, but you certainly go to different clubs and places, and some places curl a lot, some places are quite straight or even fall a little bit. I don't know if it's the water or ice conditions or what those master technicians do to the ice on a regular basis. Quite of a mystery, but also a fun and challenging part of the game too, which is figuring it out. Usually the team that gets a read on the ice and has an idea where things are going is to make things happen out there, and the other team might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, so a lot of clubs now are sanding the rocks and roughing them up on a regular basis, and as there's a saying that rocks curl, that ice doesn't curl, so certainly with clubs touching up the rocks now, we're getting more lively play.
So I believe that was done here about a month ago. We had our Sullivan Spiel, in which we had a number of World Curling Tour teams participating, a few international teams as well, and they flooded the ice and sanded the rocks prior to that event. And then I think 2 weeks after that, we were host to the adult mixed doubles championship for the province, and so all the ice has been tuned up for this event. I think we left it without sanding or flooding, and curling was going pretty well. I can tell you though, as a player and observer, it's a little bit different than it has been. I think maybe this weekend's Iceman is doing some magic with that scraper. But it is looking good. I think all the teams are comfortable with how it curls. The speed of it is pretty consistent. Stays up for 10 ends. And, kind of a pleasure to play on, really.
Yeah, certainly a pleasure to watch. Sullivan Goodine just came up short there, trying to come around. So another intern hit there. Adam Tracy was trying to run back, and it seems he turned a couple of those in. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
I actually wanted to comment on that a little bit. I was looking at that. It looked like he played it soft and maybe like a little split kind of a shot, which may be indicating of his experience versus a run back. And what he did was split and rolled his red over and behind the corner guard and opened it up at the same time. So you see kind of that kind of a decision as an experience, in my opinion, where you say, let's take advantage of this opportunity, turn a defensive play into a bit of an aggressive one. And now, after a couple of shots, he's lying 2 in the rings. And it's open in the forefoot.
Yep, so Anson Breen asking Sullivan Goodine to play a little hit and roll here.
Again, a great opportunity with those 2 yellow guards over there covering that fully 8-foot. Hit and roll in there here is a good setup. Looks like that one hung out a little bit and rolled out of play.
Yeah, he threw a lot of weight there.
What do you think the choice might be here for Liam? Is he going to peel those off, or he's going to come around? He's guarding a bit of the forefoot. He's an aggressive player. Going for the attack, I think.
Yeah, he's gonna go aggressive. Good opportunity to put some pressure on the Johnston team. Josh Vaughn with the delivery.
Perfect weight to the tee line, isn't it?
Yeah, looks like that got right to the tee line. So it looks like they're going to play a little freeze tap.
I would count this as a critical shot, Kevin, if made perfectly. Anson's going to put the pressure on the Marin team here and probably set up a guaranteed 2, I'm thinking. But, a wick on that guard or just a little bit heavy and roll, and the reverse is true. Liam will be able to perhaps hit and roll underneath or guard up that really nice shot that he just put there. So I look at this as probably the pivotal shot of this end.
So the Bell-Liant turning point kind of, so to speak.
So to speak. Do we have a prize for that?
So Sullivan Goodine with the delivery. Sam Goodine working the brush. Looks close. Oh, it looks like he's on the guard. So Liam's just going to step up, play the hit. So this is Liam Marin's first stone here in the third end. It's without hammer. So, Jeff, I forgot to mention you're also an international champion as a player, having won the event down in Belfast, Men's World International.
Yes, indeed. We certainly love going to that event.
So I don't know where that ranks against your coaching award, but...
it's right up there.
Yeah.
Well, certainly not as, equal on different levels, so to speak. I mean, a chance to go away and play with your buddies for a weekend and, be successful during the event and come home with the championship prize is very satisfactory. I think you've also achieved this level as well as a Belfast International champion. But doing stuff with your kids is really at the bottom of the line is more rewarding. You've done it a few times with your guys. gotten through these events. It's really nice to be out here and helping them grow in this sport. And really, as a person, this sport can be a little bit frustrating and humbling sometimes, where you've got to take a few losses now and then. I think it really helps you as a person over time. So doing that with your kid and going through that is, I find that to be a little even more fun, shall we say.
For sure.
I've had good fortune. Jamie has come out and played for me a few times on Thursday nights with our men's league, and starting to show those guys out there how good of a player he is. And it's really a proud moment to stand there with your son in the back line and looking at the great hit and roll he just made to set up your team for another steal. So those are fun times to be able to do that, and I appreciate doing it any chance I get to do it.
So Anson Breen trying to make this play on that Marine stone. Gets the hit and roll.
Very good shot.
Yeah, good shot. It forces Liam to the out turn here. So Liam with his last shot here in the third end. Attempt to make that stone just thrown by Anson Breen go away.
You're making me think about that Belfast. Didn't you win that more recently than I did? It's just a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll have to check the history books. So really, this is just about making this rock go away. Jeff, you don't need to be cute here and try to make an inside.
Really
Yes.
Not sure what happened on that one, Kevin. It kind of looked like it maybe started right out of his hand, or not sure whether that was right out of his hand by him turning it, or actually maybe picked a piece of dirt on the ice, which I think that we've seen kind of common thing happening this weekend. A number of times there's been a few rocks go astray. I'm not sure if that's from some dirt on the ice or possibly some rubber on grippers from the players that just leaving little marks. I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Yeah, so unfortunate break there for Team Marine. So now good opportunity here for Anson Breen. Drawing for his deuce.
It's looking like a good shot. A little bit of sweeping, but pretty much just guiding it along. Starting to curl pretty good right now. I think it's going to come to a stop in the 4-foot.
Yeah, great shot. Great shot, and Anson Breen of the Woodstock Curling Club. You're watching Bell Alliance, the Papa John's Pizza Under 21 New Brunswick Provincial Junior Men's and Ladies Curling Championships. I'm Kevin Collin. I'm with Jeff Stewart. So we just saw Team Johnston pick up 2 to tie this game at 2 apiece.
So after a steal on the last end, they come back with a 2. They got to be feeling really good about this right now. So a little bit of a momentum switch. We'll probably see more of the same, I think, in the next couple of ends, though. More rocks and interesting shots.
Yeah, great job from Team Johnston.
Looks like it. Yep. See that develop? No, I didn't.
So Sam Goodine getting ready to throw the lead stones for Team Johnston, being skipped by Anson Green. We hope Declan Johnson is doing well, and hope to see him back here this weekend. So the guards put up. So Team Marine's going to go with the corner guard. Matt McGee.
So a little change from what he did in the first end there, Kevin. I think that's probably due to just being comfortable with the ice and the speed and the readiness of the players to make these more aggressive shots with the corner guard game. Clearly he wants to get a lead here before the fifth end break and get a good comfortable lead.
So Matt McGee gets the corner guard up. So the other boys semifinal being played on sheet 6. It looks like Team Nowlin is up 5-1 on Team Peasley. They're playing the fourth end. So the winner of our sheet will play the winner of that Nowlin-Peasley game for the B qualifier. And on the girls' side, on sheet 7, it looks like Foresight is up 4-2 on Team Tracy. And on sheet 8, it's Team Winter is leading Team Coma 1-0. And they're playing in the fourth end as well. So Matt McGee being asked to come around as corner guard. This looks like a good one, Jeff.
Yeah, it's got a nice weight, and they can bring it right in and put it where they want to. In this case, above the tee line, directly behind the guard. Very nice shot.
Yeah, nice finish there too. To being able to bury rocks behind guards.
So this call looks like an in-turn draw for most right-handers. Actually, Sam is a left-hander, so that makes it a left out turn for him. I need to start using those other terms about clockwise and counterclockwise.
Or we'll just assume everybody's right-hander. We'll just talk about in-turn
right?
side and out-turn side. Okay, so we wrecked off that one at the top of the house. That's not a bad. It's not a bad result. So Liam looking to clean up the front here now.
Important thing for a Marine team is to score this end, I think, Kevin. We just given up a 2, and letting the other team score another one would give a little bit of a momentum shift for sure. So confidence builders to score, and the best way to do that is to make sure that front is clear. He's changed his mind though a little bit, and you want to get rid of this short yellow guard, perhaps roll over for a corner to protect the one that he's got there, and potentially be raising up later. This is a second option is to possibly make a double here, getting rid of that yellow rock in behind the guard.
And that's good shot there from Adam Tracy. Liam Marin sweeping that back.
A couple of things accomplished there. We're clearing the front and moving that yellow rock back into the back of the 8-foot, where it can't be made better than where it is. Hanson's choosing a bit of a what I would call a defensive strategy here, maybe. Clear off this corner guard to get to that red one. He's of the mind, I think, to keep things close as well here. Perhaps let the other team get one this end, but maybe not too many more than 2 if possible. So the best way to do that is to keep things clear as well.
Yep, straight peel. Good peel from Sullivan Goodeye.
I think we'll see the draw around the middle here this time. We're not going to worry about that yellow rock at the back. I'm thinking Marine wants to take control of that that top 4 foot area behind the corner guard or center guard. And if he can stick one there, he'll be in really good shape this end. I think that yellow one might be out counting the red just a little bit, but
It's hard to tell
two
from here.
rocks to come down here yet, and very good chance that yellow is going to be moved at some point during this end.
So,
Now they've changed their mind a little bit because it was a little bit heavy, and because of the line, they're taking it right back for a freeze, which is pretty good, but it does open up the chance for yellow to get in front of that red now, or even a double, he's indicated.
yeah, so Adam Tracy a little heavy on that come around. Yeah, so
This one's not easy. You got to hit it really thin. Otherwise, you go across the top of that back red and push it back on the yellow. Easy to say back there, isn't it, Kev?
yeah. Well, even if he just hits and rolls over on top, that red, that'd be a good situation.
You haven't missed very many from back here for years, have you?
100%.
It's a funny game. Best shot is the one you make. So many options. Oh, this looks like it's going to curl a little bit too much. Maybe roll over in front. No, right through the rings.
Okay, opportunity for Team Marine to put one in there better. Josh Vaughn in the hat, getting ready to throw.
That was one of those, if you make it, it's great. If you don't and roll out, it's kind of bad. Where you've now left the top of the 4 foot open behind a center guard and letting Team Marine draw down behind. So if he makes a good one here, suddenly you're looking at 2 behind the guard. You were just looking at 2 that were wide open, and now it's the worst situation. So that potential double would have been great if he had made the double, but kind of made it worse by rolling out, in my opinion. But
Yeah, it's one of those situations of risk versus reward. By rolling out, you give the opposition a free pass. So Josh Vaughn came up a little light there.
yeah, they don't make them all, so now he has an opportunity possibly to get under there.
Yeah, two center guards out there now. He's gonna try and come on this intern side. Is there more curl on the other side, do you think, Jeff?
Well, I was just thinking about that, Kevin. I think games I saw earlier, this is the side that does move a little bit more. The other one is a little bit almost unpredictable. Sometimes it'll run straight, and sometimes it'll really grab and go towards the line from what I've seen so far. And I think that turn selection was the best, although he certainly threw a hack weight, and that wasn't going to be successful there. He needs to be in there with just the top 4 foot weight. So Liam as well choosing the same turn. All about the weight here. That other side is makeable. The question is how much ice do you need? Where spot is it going to take off? I think it's probably the most inconsistent spot this weekend that I've seen.
Yeah, so Liam asking Josh to come in on this same side. He doesn't want to give the Johnston team another chance to come around there. So just a bit heavy.
So it looks like he's going to go to that out-turn side from what I can see.
I think he might be
They're debating as to whether they come on the in or the out. On the in-turn side, it's just got to be just T-line weight normally to get the shot rock out of it, I think. The other side's got more room, but as I say, more unpredictable as well.
Yeah, good opportunity here to bury one in.
Sometimes I'd really like to hear what they're saying there, Kevin. Have you ever had an experience with as a coach in a junior team where you were able to mic the players and you could hear them?
No. We have done some development events where the coaches are out there on the ice and can listen firsthand. But yeah, you would love to be able
I'd love to hear the discussion.
Hear.
I mean, you're talking about other sports like football comes to mind. Isn't there a mic in the quarterback's helmet where you can the coach knows what's going on and they're all talking to each other and stuff? We don't have that kind of capability here in the sport yet. And as a development, I think it'd be such a great, powerful tool for us to be able to at least listen. Certainly causing direction and back to the players would be another thing of question, but listening to what they're talking about and learning from that and coaching them off the ice about those discussions and even as simple as the how you say something is so important as a teammate to hear information coming. These are the sorts of things I think about when I'm not at the Curling Club.
Yeah, well, I had a good point. Communication is such a critical part of this game where it takes all four players to make a shot. And at the end of the day, it's really not the decisions that they make, but that there was some thought process and there was discussion about the different options.
Right.
And as a team, they agreed that, okay, this is what we're going to do.
That's so important. That's right.
So a nice come around here by Liam Marin.
I mean, some days it's obvious what the shot should be, but a lot of times there are multiple selections. And just the process of going through that, discussing and picking the best one for the situation for you as a player to throw it is so important. So anyway, wow, he's got himself in a good position here with 3 red rocks behind a couple of guards with hammer. So Anson Green is certainly being put to the test with this shot. He's forced him to that tricky outturn side. And, from what I can see, it's a pretty good ice selection. It'll all be on how he lets it go and how they watch it coming down the line here.
Yep.
Weight is so critical here. This is a tough one. If he's not close with this, they could risk giving up a 4-ender at this point in the game, which will be a little bit hard to deal with.
So, Anson was a little heavy on his first one.
And I think he might have gotten that one just a little bit started, Kevin, and he's come up short. And now it's an open draw to the 8-foot for a score of 4 for the Marine team. And that's really critical at this stage of the game. When you think fourth end, if you can pull off a big end in a tie game, really set yourself up for a strong second half.
Yeah, no need for Team Johnston to panic.
True.
About 10 end game, so you get your 2 back, and you're right back in the game. So Liam just needs full 8-foot here.
Weight looks pretty good. Good strong sweepers. They should be able to get that there without a problem.
Yeah, great draw. So good finish there from the skipper. So Team Marine will take a 6-2 lead. So we'll go to the 5th end. Yeah, I think Team Johnston will be very happy. Pick up a deuce in the 5th, and then have their 5-minute break and talk things over with their coach.
Now, I have a bit of a young team, Kevin, and these are one of the situations where I struggle as a coach and what the right things are to say to a team when you do get that break. If you've just given up a big end, and certainly there's more game to come, but sometimes their attitude gets down a little bit, or sometimes they're I don't know, panicky, let's say that. And the right things to say to the coach. I'm sure you've had a number of experiences on pros and cons. It depends on the players, I assume, as well. But, you know, what's the best thing you can say to them? Let's put it
Yep,
that way.
you hit on part of it. It's understanding what it is they want to hear. Some players are very competitive, and they don't want to hear. Sometimes they don't want to hear that. Hey, everything's rosy and fine. Be happy. And some don't want to be told in a more aggressive manner about corrective behaviors. But certainly, we want to be positive. It has
key at the end of the
the
day.
key at the end of the day. It has to be a positive message,
And knowing what each player is looking forward to hearing.
yeah, know what the team wants to hear.
I feel that's the biggest part of my job as a coach, the fifth player on the team, to come out and throw some positivity around and grab something good out of that situation. You swept it strong, or you were really close, or you got a good break or something. But going to see a little different game style, I think, from both teams now at this point. I think everything will be in the rings from Team Marine, as we've seen in the first shot just biting the forefoot, second one right in on top of it. They are not very interested in having guards out front anymore with a 4-point lead.
So Sam Goodine got the corner guard up, and Anson Breen is now asking Sam to come around. Sam Goodeye won the sportsmanship for the boys division. So congratulations to Sam on that award.
And well deserved. As I said, he played with us last year and a great teammate, and actually a really nice guy to play against. He's a good competitor for sure, likes to make his shots, but he's very complimentary to all those around him. So I can understand why he would be selected as that player.
Sam a little short on that last corner, but on that last come around, but left it short. It's still a corner guard, so that's the pro side miss. Team Johnston doesn't need to panic at this point. Like I said, they just need to get their deuce.
They will have to shake up that front, though, or they're going to be looking at a bunch of reds in a hurry.
Yeah, and that's a great setup right now for Team Marine. So they're going to have to make a play on that now. So Sam throwing 3 stones, so he's basically throwing a second stone there. So normally would just be playing a lot of guards and come arounds, and now being asked to throw peels and run backs.
Team Marine is going to follow their basic strategy now. They've got enough points on the board that they're going to try to make everything go away. So using the heavy hitting power of Adam Tracy, they blast away the front. Didn't work out as planned, though, because they hit that rope right on the nose. Exchanged a red for a yellow. Again, with 2 rocks in the 4-foot area, Anson's choosing to hit and roll behind those guards. Get rid of one of the reds and get yourself under cover at the same time.
Yeah, a little hard to ignore both of those right now. So get rid of one, roll over.
It's just a draw. Crazy number of rocks.
So Sullivan made one go away, got the roll to the open side, and push Redstone undercover.
It was a great shot.
So Liam,
I'm sorry, I thought it was Red that was shooting. Apologies. I was just watching an awesome shot over on the other sheet.
so one of the things I talked to my team about in the fifth end break, it would be about focus, Jeff. So
Focus on your own sheet. Forget about those pretty girls over there.
well, that's one of the things that when you're coaching a junior team, and there's a junior girls team on the next sheet, you
Get them to stand and face the curtains.
sometimes.
I suppose you got to deal with every issue, don't you, Kevin?
Yep. Okay, so Sullivan Goodine is going to be asked to come around.
He can get just to the edge of that red, or even better, just behind it. Would be a great shot here.
Yeah, two still in play here for Team Johnston.
Weight looks a little strong at this stage, I think. Not really curling in like it should. This might slip to the back 12. Well, no, dug in quickly. It's one of the things we're seeing this weekend, I think, Kevin, a little later in the game, the 6th, 7th end. This is early yet, and the 5th here, but it does start to slow down a little bit in the 4-foot path.
Yep, so Liam's going to ask Josh Vaughn to make this rock go away. And Josh just got a piece of it.
Got a big enough piece, and almost tucked it behind it for them, but got enough to get it out into the 12-foot area. But again, still, if he can get this yellow up against that red, he could even set up a 3-ender here.
Yep, so Sullivan get another opportunity to make that come around. If I can make the adjustment from his last shot. This looks a little tighter. His brother Sam trying to hold it for him. A little light. So Team Marine's going to try and put another one around. Lie two.
Advantage of that gift that was just given to him with a center line guard, about halfway out. He should be, if he throws the top 4-foot weight here, he should be fully behind that guard.
Yeah, we might have to, might see a run back out of the Johnston team. Be forced to run that front Yellowstone back.
Switches back and forth, doesn't it? I mean, he just had a little bit of a gift given to him, and opportunity to put a good shot in there and come up a bit short, and it's switched back to the other team. So it's back and forth with this stuff. You can't guarantee anything's going to happen.
It's the main reason that a lot of junior coaches have no hair or gray hair.
That's why you can still tell I'm a junior coach, right? I haven't been at this very long. Do you think there's a hole out through the middle there to come through, Kevin? It's about a rock and an eighth wide, I think. A little more than a rock. That's always enough. He's going to attempt it.
Wow. It's not a very big port.
Anson is also a left-hander, if I'm correct here.
Correct.
May have an opportunity to come from a slightly different angle at this thing. Is there much difference, do you think, having a left and a right?
Certainly you're on a different path. So the rock's going to react differently. So Anson Breen trying to come through the port. It's close.
Very.
Oh,
you got the wick.
You got the wick and made the shot.
I enjoy watching Anson play. He gets so animated. A number of times I've seen him get very excited about a particular shot, and he always demonstrates a lot of enthusiasm out there. And he did there in that shot as well.
So Liam's looking to take the deuce out of play and possibly make a play on that back one, and just get rid of it.
That's a safe call here.
Yeah, if he gets a little bit of an inside roll, he'll force Anson to draw for one. Liam Marin with the hit.
Well, they had a little trouble with in-turn shots here earlier in the maybe first and third end. Oh, great shot!
Yeah, good brush there. Good call right out of the hand there from Adam Tracy to call the line. So an opportunity for Team Johnston to get the blank here. Try to get the deuce back in the even end, in the sixth end, after the break. So that'd be a good result for Team Johnston. I think they would call that a...
It would be, although this is not an easy shot here, Kevin. I think he may have rolled in there just a little bit, and would you not say that rock was not fully open?
Oh, correct.
It's especially from the left-hander's position again.
Yeah, that changes his line. So just be careful not to overthrow this. I think this has to be a really quiet shot. And play it close. Looks like
great shot. Yeah. Got it. Does he roll out? Yes, he does. What a great shot.
Yeah, great shot there from Anson Breen, filling in for Declan Johnston, who normally skips this rink and is unfortunately out sick. So with the score 6-2 for Team Marin, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. Why do I have green? It's green. You get that one going, Richard? Yep. Hey, very good. Up there.
Can I still this for a second?
Whatever. Green.
It's in green.
Sometimes if I really want to get it, that overhead going in, I don't do it all the time. There's certain shots that I would be clear. Stay a little wide or just
I'll blame it on the producer.
If you follow this one, that's what Scott and I were working on. We get to a certain point so that you can kind of see it, and then when it's about halfway, then you can kind of go over.
Go into the tank and you take the same switch.
Right, yeah.
Do the same thing.
Yeah, all the time. Occasional soccer match. We were working on kind of keeping that, and then when it's about halfway between the hot and the rings, then you click it and you can see the rock coming right in. Sometimes some shots actually get cooler than just glass on the go, but it wouldn't run. Either one, you just pick it. Yeah. Mix it up, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, you know you're doing good. Is this Lauren? I'm not Lauren, this is Harold. Are you reliable? I haven't seen her.
Yeah. No, you're reliable.
Yeah, we'll call
Take your time. I can start it, Richard, if you. I can start it if you're still up there, but everybody else is going.
No, you're nice. First draw, he was asking if anybody would close for 20 seconds. Yeah, no big deal.
We still have two time
Two time outs, yeah, left on the board.
We should have caught one. We should have caught one.
Maybe not in the last one. Maybe before that.
Yeah.
You're running that clock over there, please.
No, this is just kind of practice.
Evan's practicing how to do it. We're looking at just kind of cool things.
That's
See the other bottom.
the new program.
Yeah, Jeff did it up. Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
No, but you're
Download it.
down, that's the new one, the download, so I'm gonna see if we could ever get it on that.
A whole lot easier.
Looks like it, should be. One stop.
Yep. Getting ready to head down there again.
No, that's right. They're headed down there. Crossed. That was crossed. Wow, they're holding it. Wow. They're really holding it. Surgical.
Welcome back to the Papa John's U21 Junior Men's and Ladies New Brunswick Curling Championships. I'm Kevin Kyle and I'm with Jeff Stewart. Today we're covering Team Marin versus Team Johnston. Team Marin has a 6-2 lead after 5 ends. So the 5th end was a blank, so Team Johnston will retain the hammer. Team Johnston of the Woodstock Curling Club is actually playing without their skip today. Declan Johnston is out sick and unavailable to play, so they're playing with 3 players. Sam Goodine at lead, Sullivan Goodine, Advice, and Anson Green is skip. Team Marin has Matt McGee at lead, Adam Tracy at second, Josh Vaughn at third, and Liam Marin is the skip.
Certainly playing well today and had a great fortune in the second end, I think, to kind of get a little jump. But then a big 4th end to give it 4 points on the board and establish his lead. Team Marin looking pretty solid this weekend. They won the A section final this morning, and the winner of this game goes into the B section final. So they're starting to get their eye on the prize, shall we say, Kev?
Oh yeah, certainly. And just to get into that B qualifier, And playing that, when you end up with different teams winning each of the 3 qualifiers, one of the tiebreakers is the number of qualifier games that you actually played in. So certainly an advantage to get into as many qualifier games as you can and win at least one of them. And you'll be playing on Monday. So Matt McGee was his first one, just short of the rings. And going to tap their own to the back 12 and leave up center guard.
I think the plan there might have been a little split on the front, roll one underneath the corner and the other one on the rings. At this point, Team Marin is not interested in having the guards out front. I think they'd like to have all the play in the rings with a 4-point lead. More rocks clutter up things, becomes more of a problem.
Yeah, they want to keep things simple. Team Johnston, on the other hand, like to see those guards out front.
Certainly, and their goal has been to certainly get 2 points on the board and bring this a little closer and steal maybe the next couple ends and stay right in this game.
Yeah, so nice come around there from Sam Goodeye to the tee line behind the corner. First chance Liam gets, he'll be stepping up to peel off that corner guard. 5 rock rules in effect, so can't peel it yet. So expect, regardless of what happens this next stone, I would expect the next Marine shot will be a peel on that corner. So Adam Tracy just being asked to come down and freeze to this yellow stone.
Weight looks pretty good, Kevin. I think it's going to be close to the tee line here.
Yeah, I want to make sure you're not light on this, so a pro side miss would be to be heavy. So good shot there from Adam Tracy.
Looks like yellow is number 1. So now it's always interesting where to put the rock, the right place, and it's still early in the end here. Don't get too excited about getting rid of it right away. Try to tell my guys, you just tap that little red one back a little bit and set it up at the back of the house and give you protection.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
team want to play these too hard and they just lose their opportunity that might have come to them.
yeah, good point. Team Johnston can use that red rock to their advantage. It can still be their friend.
But not where it is right now. It has to move back past the tee line. Maybe roll the yellow over behind the yellow guard. Have 2 under the cover. And it's looking like a really nice shot.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to tap that behind the tee line and roll behind the corner.
Perfect, really.
Great shot. So and there goes the corner guard.
Yeah, some might say, well, that wasn't a very good shot because you put the red near the button. Well, more importantly, you put the 2 yellows behind the corner guard. So after Team Marine takes this one off, then you come down and hit the red, and suddenly you're line 3.
Yeah, Team Marine realizes that 3 is in play here with 2 buried behind that guard.
6.
So get rid of this, and there'll be an opportunity later in the end to play a double on those yellows.
But would you put this hit, or would you just lay another one in there, Kevin?
He also could put the corner back up, knowing that Liam's just going to peel it.
Yep, good choice. Freeze is another option.
Yeah, lots of good options here.
One thing about I find if you hit these things too early, then then you got to make 5 perfect shots or something to maybe get 2. So sometimes if you get more rocks in play and get a little fortunate, you could end up with a 4 or 5 ender.
Yeah, you got to be careful here. You're going to could set up a double.
Indeed, this is curling a lot towards that guard too. Oh, good sweeping by Sam. Nice shot.
So they got to roll. So they're going to play the double on these top 2. And I think regardless of the outcome of that last shot, this double was going to be made. So I think that's why I would have liked to have seen the corner go up.
Corner guard would have been a good choice. I think it would have been still a few more rocks to come.
Still great job by Anson Green, skipping this team. Great hit and roll. Good shot there from Josh Vaughn. Josh Vaughn very solid at that mate position, able to throw those up-weight shots at the broom, clean up a mess for a skip, and he can also play those finesse shots to set up those multiple point ends.
Where do you suppose he learned that? From his father, Doc?
His father Jason, his uncle Bobby, have been on the curling circuit for a long time.
Oh, this one's tight on the guard. Oh, another great sweep.
Oh, great sweep. Great throw there from Sullivan. Sullivan good, right?
A bit too far, though, right? And set up a double here for red to lie two. So suddenly, it was looking good for yellow a few rocks ago, and potentially after this one, if he does stay and make contact with both, we'll turn it around for red. Now look at that corner guard that you took off earlier.
Yeah, a lot of junior teams would have ignored the corner and tried to make a play on the two rocks in the rings. But great shot there from Josh.
And he hung it out on the outside edge, so red lies two. This is the sort of end, Kevin, you would almost take back and talk about with a team where things were starting to shape up early and he made this choice or that choice and this ended up happening. I mean, certainly it could have turned out differently, but it's an interesting discussion, let's put it that way, from a team perspective, all the different choices that you can make.
Yeah, so all of a sudden it's not a great situation for Team Johnston, but they do have an opportunity to use that center guard. So,
Great shots by the Marine team. One bad problem there, and suddenly Red's on the advantage here. He sticks one around the guard, top of the forefoot. He's got another end in control.
So Liam Marin will try the come around here. So they know the ice in this spot and the speed. So Matt McGee and Josh Vaughn trying to get this stone around that guard. Just gonna come up a little short.
Yeah, just a hair inside. I had a time of 14.9 hog to hog on that one, Kevin, which would indicate probably just like a zone 3 at this stage of the game. Earlier in the game, that would probably be into the top 4 foot, but in that strip, it's slowing down. Teams are using the stopwatch regularly now. I think time various parts of the ice. Try not to teach that we rely on it, but it's a guide or another tool that you can use. The time the other teams rock, see how the ice is changing, keep an eye on different paths in where rocks have been. All this sort of stuff that, as we said early in the game, teams are becoming more professional at doing, right?
Certainly, that's a good point. Ice conditions will change throughout the game, and the team that picks up on it, it's the team that's going to be successful. So Anson Green trying to come around those guards, and he's going to come up a little light. So
Easy in the 100, so you can tell like shots.
A really good opportunity for Team Marine here. The long guard can come around that outside, potentially into the top 4 foot, maybe even just to the 8 foot. Lie 3, and Team Johnston will have a difficult shot to score this end.
yeah, Team Johnston I think likely will be looking at raising in that yellow rock to the top 4 for their 1.
I guess that's the good thing here. The 2 rocks that are on the rings are in the 12 foot, so it shouldn't be too hard to get one to the 8 foot. So Liam will be really trying to put the pressure on here with a biter on the 4 foot, I think. Just out of curiosity, let's try on the outside of this one, Kevin, to see if the speed is much different with the outside of the ice.
Yeah, so a little discussion here about the ice. So we haven't seen a lot of draws played on this side of the ice, so it is a bit of a guess. It brings out into almost into the middle of the 12 foot.
I think if he throws that same 14-9, he's going to be close to the tee line on this one. There's a lot of sweeping on that last rock, too, because of the line of it. This one looks a little bit strong right now.
And the sweepers are just
I
watching.
got 12.98 seconds on that one, so that one should be to the hack, probably. Now, he kind of threw that as if he was throwing down the middle, I think, and that's an indication of how the ice is different in different spots.
So Anson Green is going to try and make that same draw. Just needs a piece of the 8 foot. 4's 1.
Sam's a strong sweeper and a very good judge of weight. I think this one will be close. Oh, it's looking a little fast again. I've got a 12.9 again. This one could be in the hack. Indeed, rubbed off the back red, but still a score of 2 red.
Yeah, steal of 2 for Team Marine to go up 8-2 after 6 ends. So winner of this game will go into the B qualifier. If Team Johnston was to lose this game, that would be their second loss, and they would have 1 more life. They would drop down into the C section, and an opportunity to grab a C qualifier spot. Hopefully their skip, Declan Johnston, will have recovered and be able to make a return. So much is the same from Team Marine here, Jeff. Into the rings on lead rocks.
Definitely, and in fact, they'll be starting to think about when to throw it just in the hack, Kevin. They don't want any rocks in play. In fact, that's what's happened here.
Yeah.
I guarantee you the lead was told to throw it in the rings or in the hack. Make sure it's never a guard in this situation.
Yeah. So that was the pro side miss.
Yeah, with a 6-point lead here now, Kevin, I think, and 3 ends to play. 4 ends to play. My apologies. It'll be challenging for Team Johnston to put some rocks in play here. They'll have to be precise on every shot. And it gets harder to do later in the game. The team gets an advantage, and as you said, get down a little bit, and it seems to like a wave coming at you. So We're going to interesting shot they're going to attempt here, Kevin. I like this better than just throwing it in the hack. A lot of teams will just do that to, we can't make this shot. But why not practice these little ticks and rolls and things? That's what teams with confidence will do, and every once in a while you're going to make one.
Yeah, it's a good weapon to have in the bag. So this is hit out of play, so it will come back up, and the shooter will come off. Yeah, so from a Team Marine point of view, no harm, no foul.
They do have to play that shot with enough weight to make that happen, as opposed to just rubbing a little bit and leaving two guards out there. Maybe that's why some of the teams don't play that shot. I know it's a team, it's on our to-do list to practice that sort of thing and become skilled at that particular shot. I'm going to worry about that when we're in a lot of games we're up with 6-point lead.
Which is a good problem to have. So Sam Goodine being asked to come around that guard.
Again, it looks like another rock that's picked up a piece of dirt, Kevin, and made a left turn here. Sometimes you see the players stand in the middle of the ice holding up their hands saying, what happened? And I think that's an indication of a rock pick. Say I think the Thistle Club's pretty clean. I feel that most of these situations come from players' equipment, the rubber on the bottom of their shoes or grippers, sometimes a little bits off their brooms perhaps, but or clothing. But it's just a part of the game these days, and just deal with it.
Yeah, that's part of things that don't sweat the things you can't control. So Liam asked Adam Tracy to bring that in the house, and again, pro side missed through, so Team Johnston coming around.
I'll get a time on this one in the middle.
So Sam Goodine with his third stone. Team Johnston with 3 players, so the first 2 players throw 3 stones each.
I get a 13-8 on this. It should stop in the back 4 foot, I think. Pretty close. Nope. That's the difference between a 13-8 in the middle versus a 12-9 on the outside, Kevin.
Yeah, so we're seeing some different speed lines here. And so now it's peel time. So Adam Tracy is going to be asked to
Let's see how fast he throws this.
To remove these rocks. You can see some of the players too. They slide 3/4 of the way down the ice and put their hand down into the ice. That's going to leave some
That's right.
hand prints.
Knee prints will do that as well.
That's why Iceman put the sign on the ice shed door saying no knee or handprints in the ice, please. So Sullivan, Goodine. Is he just going to the open wing?
I think so. That's all they're going to play for here, Kevin. Maybe at this stage, not going to take things too complicated. They're just going to execute, learn parts of the ice, perhaps. What do you think? No, it looks like another corner guard was the call, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't see the call, but I like that better than drawing to the open side. You want to make sure you get to. I think 3 is the real goal. To get back in this game. Playing the 7th end, down 6. So hit and roll there from Josh Vaughn. So only in the 12-foot, so don't need to worry about it.
So here's the situation. You look at this one, Kevin, and we're still playing against this red rock. To me, you got to be really aggressive at this stage. I think the end turn draw around everything would be good, or even the other corner. If you're playing out here in the front, you're just sitting in the open. That's my opinion on that one.
Yeah, at this point, you can make that red rock your friend.
That's right.
And you're likely going to see Liam just stand up there and peel off another guard.
Well, they made a nice hit and roll into the other guard for sure. Great shot. But for me, it's reduced rocks in play and less opportunity to potentially score a 3-ender here.
So it looks like Josh can see at least half of this rock in the ring, so they're going to take a shot at it.
This is an optional play. If you take the guard off anyway, it's a good outcome.
So good brush. So strong performance out of Josh
shot
today.
That was an excellent shot. It hit inside of that and rolled a little bit.
Josh making some great shots. So I didn't jinx him earlier when I was giving him compliments. So Sullivan, good eye. Again, going to come down and make a play on this red rock.
I like the freeze in that situation, Kevin. I mean, use the red rock as your friend, right?
Yeah, the scoreboard says the word takeout should not be in the vocabulary. So the word hits. So you want to hear words like freeze, tap, draw.
If you see something, measure or something, big signal, you don't see the goal or stick.
But great job here from Anson Green filling in as skip. I think that's the storyline of the game so far. I think the Sam and Sullivan and Anson done a great job stepping up. One thing I look for as a coach too with a team is that when they do have a big lead, making sure that they're still staying focused and that they haven't checked out and started the celebration. So you got to stay focused right to the last shot. Continue to play your game. So Anson Green with his first shots. He has a hammer.
The counterclockwise rotation. He's heading in behind
The line looks good. Sam trying to carve it around that guard.
What's your opinion on that sweeping, Kevin? Is that doing much for the Rock these days?
Well, apparently the experts, the pros, have done all the testing, and I guess until about 2 or 3 years from now, someone will figure out that it's all wrong and we'll change it to something else.
It's kind of like the great debate, isn't it?
Yes.
We have a number of folks who are fully convinced that it does do something, and a number of folks who are counter to that. Seems like a lot of teams are trying to use it anyway. A lot of kids are trying the technique. I'm not sure myself. I'm kind of on the fence. it seems like it has an effect sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard when you play the game a certain way, for a long time. Certainly for juniors coming, learning it early, it's not a big deal. But when you've swept a certain way for 20, 25 years to all of a sudden be told that's all wrong. You've been doing it wrong your whole life. Kind of hard to take.
So Team Marine made a nice shot to pick that yellow out, and we have an empty rings and potentially a blank here. If that's what they choose to do. The alternate score or strategy maybe is to take one and steal your way. Change things up a bit. Have you ever done that in the past?
I wouldn't in this situation. I would keep the hammer and try to go for multiple point score with a hammer in the next end. Take a 3 or a 4 next end. So we'll go to the 8th end. Team Marine leading 8-2. And Team Johnston will have the hammer. Updates on the other sheets. So the other boys B semifinal. Team Nowlin is up 7-3 on Team Peasley. They're playing in the 8th end. And then the girls B qualifier semifinal. Team Foresight is up 8-4.
Yes.
That's 8-4. Hard to see with these old eyes I have. And on sheet 8, Team Como is up on Team Winter by a score of 7-3. And so all the games are in their 8th ends. Matt McGee got the first stone just into the 12-foot.
A similar pattern here. One rock on the rings, one corner guard, another rock on the ring, another corner guard. Be my guess.
That's the way you'd expect it to play itself out. Sam Goodine attempting the corner guard.
Timeout on 6.
A great shot there from Sam. Lee Marine asking Matt McGee to come around with his second one. So we see the Team Marine is using a 5-man team this weekend. I'm not sure what the reasoning or how they work this out, Jeff. Do you?
What their plan is?
Yeah.
For each game? I'm not sure. I don't know with these kids today. A lot of them have jobs and going to university and such, and not able to make every tournament. So I think a 5-man team strategy is a good one. These versatile players, they can play a lot of different positions, a lot of experience at anything. So that's what this team, I think, has chosen to do. As to their choices between, I don't know how they work it. I mean, maybe some teams have a fixed rotation. Others might choose who is playing best. That's the guy that's playing today. But everybody working together to achieve their goal here this weekend.
Yeah, typically you'd see a 4-player team.
So we've changed, we've seen a little bit of a change here, Kevin, with the miss by Team Marine on the last rock. I think it was long. Instead of going for another corner guard, Team Johnston went for the draw in around the corner and in between the red, and potentially setting up a more difficult shot for Team Marine.
but they've guided one right down the hole there and slid a roll into the top of the 8-foot, right in that nice control zone where you want to be.
Yeah, great shot there from Adam Tracy, second stone.
So Anson is choosing to rattle those reds around a little bit. And my choice here is definitely to play soft weight. I like just a back ring weight on this type of shot and this type of a scoreboard. I like to just push those reds around and make them your friends. When you throw this kind of normal weight, first of all, you're likely to make the shot and 2 reds go away and you're all by yourself in the rings. And at this stage of the game, you need to make the other team make hard shots. And as good a shot as that is, it's not really advantageous to Team Yellow.
Yeah, so this is one of those situations, great shot there by Sam. We'd probably score that a 5 out of 4 for the execution, making the shot that was called. But in terms of result, in terms of trying to get your 3 or a 2, that's not a good result.
You basically just made it easier for Team Marine to get rid of this yellow rock now. There's nothing behind it to protect it, and they can hit this and roll on the rings or roll out, whatever they choose. I expect their choice would be to roll into the rings and into the 4-foot area again. They want to keep the play near the button and away from that corner guard. And Anson is helping them out, in my opinion. Oh, he's now changed and going to take advantage of that corner guard and draw around it. Which is certainly, as a coach behind the glass, I think I'd be screaming, "Do that, please!"
Yeah. Sullivan Goodine with the come around attempt here. Sam Goodine work. So he left another guard, which is it's a good miss. Liam asking Josh Vaughn to double these off. Clean this up. Job 1 is to peel the top one, get the shooter out of the way.
And he's established another corner guard over top of his red, but there's still room to draw a rock behind there. So he cleared one rock, but kind of just moved it to the other side of the ice. Changed the color, I guess that's a good thing.
And all of a sudden we got a good situation for Team Johnston. So Sullivan Goodine being asked to come around again.
Certainly got more weight on this one, Kevin. Just kind of slammed his hand on the ice. I don't think he's happy with it.
Yeah, the last one came up short, so just overcompensated.
I've got 11.9 seconds, which should be through the house.
So again, Josh Vaughn being asked to make the peel. And he stuffs it. So 2 missed peels there, and Team Johnston still looking at an opportunity here to bury some rocks. So 3 is still in play. He could could consider coming around the other side here, Jeff, and come around both reds, so that when the top red gets peeled, he would still be behind something.
Absolutely agree, Kevin. That would be good. And the ice does curl enough to do that. At least be half buried.
You'd leave Team Marine an easier run back, but at this point in the game, this late in the game, and with the score, you're really playing. You're playing for some misses from the opposition, Skip.
Looks like Sullivan's really struggling with his draw weight right now. It's 3 shots in a row. He's attempted to come in behind that guard, and 2 out of 3 were short, and 1 was long. So really fussing. That's the sort of thing that can happen here on this ice with this many ends. A lot of play in the middle. And when you start going to the outside, you get different speed zones, right? And the ability to adjust your weight control for each of those zones is so important and so critical. You know, if he takes any one of those shots and throws them in a different zone, he probably puts them all on the tee line. It depends on where he was. And making that adjustment is so challenging for a player, and especially for junior players with a little less experience than us old gray-haired guys.
Yeah, throwing the 3 stones brings a variable into it as well. If there's a bad stone in the 3, like normally you only deal with 2 rocks, and you can pick up if one of those rocks is bad. You're throwing 3 in different spots in the ice with different speed. It might be a little harder to pick up if there's something wrong with one of those rocks. So it looks like Anson's going to play a hit here on that top one.
Again, I think the other call of potentially drawing around this corner guard is still there. He could be on the center line, or on the tee line, probably, or just above the tee line on that H in Chile, and be number 1 and 3/4 covered. That's another choice. Of course, hit and roll is another choice. Always choices in curling, right, Kev? And some of them you...
Which one you feel most comfortable with?
Right. And it's always the one you make is the best one. And look at this. He may even get a hit and roll.
He gets a little roll in.
That's not bad.
That's a great shot.
I guess that was the third option I didn't list.
Mm-hmm. So Marine's just going to play the come around.
Yeah, there's not really much he can do with that shot, and the best thing for him to do is to come around that corner and be number 1, partially covered, and potentially steal or at least force Team Johnston to take 1 point.
So Liam Marin with his final rock here in the 8th end. An 8-2 lead in this B semifinal.
14,397. Weight was nice, I think. It's just a little line there. Draw for 2.
So draw for 2 for Team Johnston. Being skipped today by Anson Green from the Woodstock Curling Club.
Sam's done a lot of sweeping today. Might be a tired fellow tonight.
So both teams struggled this end with the draws. The handshakes come out. So Team Marine is your winner, and will be playing in the B qualifier. And it looks like The other qualifier is still in progress, Team Nowlin and Team Peasley. 8-4 Team Nowlin lead. Well, I think a great job there, Jeff, by Ansem Green being asked to step up.
Well, I think so, yes, definitely.
So,
Good experience to play against former provincial champ and probably the number one team in this field right now. They had a good showing, certainly had some tough shots to deal with and a few bad breaks on their own, but did a fine showing anyway, regardless what the scoreboard says. So they should take that forward to the next game, and we wish them luck.
okay, well, thank you very much, Jeff. You've been watching the Papa John's Under 21 Junior Men's and Ladies Junior Championships here at Thistle St. Andrews and St. John. I'm Kevin Kyle, and we'll see you in the next draw tomorrow morning. Thank you.